Look, 2023 has been a great year for smartphones. There have been some really good phones, some not so good ones, but there's one phone which I personally feel is the most underrated smartphone of 2023. You know what? I'm going to get straight to the point. The phone I'm talking about is the Poco F5. Now, before you go ahead and comment your usual motherboard jokes, just hear me out. So this phone launched in May 2023 and this phone launched under 30,000 rupees in India, but it's been going for 27k. But if you look at this graph, this has gone for 22k, 23k, which is a crazy price for this phone. I say that because it's been, 7 months since this phone launched, but there's still no phone under 30,000 rupees that can match its performance, and that's saying something. I mean, yes, there are a few cons to this phone, but the point is this remains the only phone in India with the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 processor, which is way more powerful than 7 Gen 1 or even the new 7 Gen 3. Honestly, strange why more manufacturers haven't used this processor because this is so close to 8 Gen 1, and in fact, it's even better in some aspects. Honestly, this processor under 30k is crazy. Just look at the Antutu scores of 7 Plus Gen 2 versus Dimensity 8100 Max on the OnePlus 10R or the Dimensity 9000 in the OnePlus Nord 3, and you can see the difference there is. In fact, I remember this beating the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 in most benchmark tests. Yeah, 7 Plus Gen 2, especially at around 25k, is a crazy good processor considering the fact that there are no overheating issues, no throttling issues, and the Poco F5 is a phone that we use all the time to test apps compared to other new phones, and this is always great in terms of performance. Now, 7 Plus Gen 2 is obviously a big factor why I like this phone, but I know some people would say, okay, so this is a great phone for performance, but what about the rest of the factors? Well, the truth is the Poco F5 is actually a good phone all around. Mostly. I mean, it looks really good. This is plastic, but it looks and feels a lot like glass. We have the white variant of this phone, which has this pattern on the back, which I'm not a fan of, but I've seen its black variant as well as the blue variant in person, and they are way better looking, and this actually feels like a premium phone. The in and feel of the phone is also very good. It's sleek, and for a phone that has a 6.67-inch display, the weight at 181 grams is also very good, and there's no compromise on the battery. We have been getting around 6 hours of SOT on moderate to heavy usage, which is good, and the 67-watt fast charger takes the phone from 0 to 100% in around 45 minutes. Battery life apart, this does not have a micro SD slot, and the fingerprint scanner is side mounted, but this has the IP53 rating, Dolby Atmos stereo speakers with the top speaker in the frame, not in the earpiece, and that means very good, very balanced sound, and this has a headphone jack with higher support, which is rare now in mid-range and high-end phones. The display is also as good as you can get in this price. I like the symmetrical bezels, and the specs are insanely good. I know 12-bit color only works with Dolby Vision encoded videos and 120Hz is not LTPO, but this is still an impressive display at this price. What with the Dolby Vision support, adaptive HDR, and more than the specs, every time I watch a movie or show on this display, I am impressed. Even when I'm just using the phone, I feel like I'm using a phone with a high-end display, and that's honestly what matters. In fact, even the haptics of this phone are very good, which is again rare in the mid-range segment. Now, one area where this isn't the absolute best is the cameras. Look, specs-wise, it's all good. There's OIS in the main camera, the ultra-wide angle camera is pretty wide at 120 degrees, and you like the photos from this phone. If you like your photos to be more punchy, a bit oversaturated, I mean, you will notice the F5's cameras boosting the colors in almost every single photo. Yeah, this is not the phone for natural photos, but it does well in terms of details or HDR, and even in low light where a lot of phones struggle. Now, 4K videos also look kind of fine, but I did notice a lot of focus hunting when shooting moving videos, so that's something to note. Now, another area where people are skeptical in terms of Poco phones is software, motherboard issues, so let's talk about that. So this has MIUI 14 based on Android 13 and it runs fine on this phone. Yes, there is some bloatware, glance lock screen, and there are a few reports of bugs on this phone here and there, but there's nothing major. I mean, I was trying to look for Poco F5 bug threads and, Poco F5 motherboard issues, but I couldn't find any, which is a good thing. And if you ask for updates, this was promised to get 2 OS updates, so this will probably go to Android 15. This will get HyperOS, so maybe the performance will get even better. Look, overall, the point is there are a lot of good phones in the sub 30k price segment. There's the really good Moto Edge 40, there's the OnePlus Nord C3, but my pick for the most underrated smartphone of 2023 is the Poco F5 because, like I said at the start, it's been some time since this phone launched, but the performance it brings, the raw performance, is still unmatched after a lot of time. And you know what? Yeah, there are cons to this phone. It's not perfect, but if you ask me, this is my personal choice for the spiritual successor to the Poco F1. And yeah, that's the respect it deserves. Now, I know a lot of you guys must be using the Poco F5, so comment down your experience down below. And if you think there's other phones that deserve this most underrated phone of 2023 award, make sure to comment down below. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.